Settings perfect, conditions. What a time to also welcome my co-commentator, friend and colleague Fazal Khalil this evening. Lovely settings, Fazal.
Thank you very much, Mikhail. Good evening to you. Good evening to everyone watching this festival of cricket here in Kathmandu. It's the festival of the Himalayas, and rightly so. We are in that part of the world where everything seems to be looking really nice. There's the Chobar Hills there in the background, and you see the beautiful TU International Cricket Facility in the foreground.
Settings perfect, conditions. What a time to also welcome my co-commentator. Settings perfect, conditions. What a time to also welcome.
Throws it just inches off the ground. That world record he created in Oman. 5 direct hit runouts in 5 games.
Yeah, we'll take a look at that side angle once again. You spoke about him trying to release the ball. He's off balance here, and it's never easy to take aim when you're off balance.
Just the fact he's even made it a chance, it all happens at superhuman speed. Those 5 runouts as well in 5 consecutive games, all direct hits. He's just great for the game, and I think he's going to be, across the course of the next 5 to 10 years, one who'll help tell the story of Nepal cricket around the world. I'm just surprised he doesn't get more opportunities in some other franchise leagues too. A lot of that is because Nepal plays so much international cricket. He isn't often available.
Edged. Did it carry? Interesting to see where Jimmy Neesham is standing in that crease over there as well, Andrew. He's standing deep, and at the point of delivery he's moving behind.
Well, isn't it remarkable? This is a man who struck at 190. I don't think it carried through to Binod Bandar. He's done well, actually. Damn, he thought he had the biggest wicket of his young life. Great to see the reaction. Neesham is 3 off 9. This will be a good angle here. Doesn't quite carry. Great effort. That's 3 runs saved, plus 3 in the coach's notebook. But Neesham, who struck at virtually 2 runs for every delivery he faced last season, change of kit, 3 off 9.
This man's generating pace, and he's getting some deviation off the surface as well. Great exhibition here of seam and swing by young Hemant Dhami.
If you take away the final 5 overs of the
settings perfect, conditions. What a time to also welcome my co-commentator, friend and colleague Fazal Khalil this evening. Lovely settings, Fazal.
Thank you very much, Mikhail. Good evening to you. Good evening to everyone watching this festival of cricket here in Kathmandu. It's the festival of the Himalayas, and rightly so. We are in that part of the world where everything seems to be looking really nice. There's the Chobar Hills there in the background, and you see the beautiful TU International Cricket Facility in the foreground. A lot of work for Sudar Paschim Royals. They've been put into bat, just waiting them to come on to the park. But Pokhara Avengers, they have a point to prove. They've lost their first game to a big margin of 53 runs. Well, they'll have to come good, and they'll have to come good soon. On the other hand, these guys have won their first game. Wonder what the chat is all about. Kushal Burtail, the skipper of the Avengers, having an animated chat with the umpire. Rambakwela from Sri Lanka, he's officiating in this game. Years and years of experience for him. We've seen a good level of umpiring. We need to just carry on through the season as well. Just take a look at how the teams stack up on the points table. Early in the piece, the Viratnagar Kings at the top of the tree, 2 points for them, a very healthy net run rate, 2.65. That's going to hold them in good stead as we move forward in the tournament. Sudur Paschim Royals, they're playing their second game. They won the first, so they'll be breathing nice and easy. The Lumbini Lions, they needed a good start after their last year's performance. They've won their first game. They're on 2 points as well. The Chitwan Rhinos, the Kathmandu Gorkhas are on 2 points each. But a lot of work for the Avengers in this game. They lost their first game. They need to come back strong. And Janakpur Bulls, the defending champions, they'll be hurting looking at that points table at the moment. But like I did mention, it's early days. Just to remind the viewers, top 4 teams qualify for those all-important playoffs.
Oh yes, early days, as you rightly pointed out, Fazal. We want to get those big wins coming along as well, because the net run rate will play a crucial role. It's another packed house this Friday evening. Wow. Make no mistake, the Sudur Paschim Royals come with a huge fan base. I did meet a couple of fans on the Pokhara Avengers as well, and they're really looking forward to this contest. The boys didn't have a great outing, lost by a huge margin. Just about waiting for the batters to make their way to the middle as well. 27 for 4, the Sudur Paschim Royals. They were on a spot, and the opening batters there, Fazal, in Josh Brown and Vinod Bhandari, both failed to open their scoring. So they'll feel that pressure as well to get runs on the board.
Well, they will surely need to get them off to a good start, but I'm really excited to see someone like Dipendra Singh Airi, the skipper of the side. He's the tiger in the team. Chris Lynn, Harmeet Singh, we saw him with both bat and ball, got a 50 and picked up 2 wickets. And that man, Scotty Kugeline, the highest wicket taker in the NPL in the 2 seasons that we've played so far. And on the other side, I'm really looking forward to seeing Kushal Burtail, the skipper. He had a good outing in that losing cause. He, along with Jimmy Nesham, who had such a great season 1, will be really looking to come out there and prove his point. And Daniel Douthwaite, he'll be looking to come out there and show why he's the pro in this team.
Yeah, Douthwaite got 29 and 20 in the first outing, but it was all but over in that game. Just a couple of changes here for the Pokhara Avengers. Bipin Khatri comes in. Thrithiraj Das misses out. He was out second ball to Sandeep Lamichane, to the leg spinner, the one that came in. Yeah, we'll just get a quick confirmation on the playing 11. Sumit Verma, the foreign overseas player, comes in place of Matt Taylor. He misses out, and Bipin Khatri in place of Thrithiraj Das. Sudur Paschim Royals go with a winning combination. And just a confirmation, the Avengers for the second time in a row have won the toss and they've decided to field first.
Well, that's the difference between victory and defeat, isn't it? When you lose a game, all of a sudden you start chopping and changing your side like the Avengers have done. And when you win, then what happens is you stick to a winning combination like the Sudur Paschim Royals have done. The 2 batsmen finally out there on the park. After that little extended dialogue with the umpires, we wonder what that was, as much as you must be wondering. But just about that time of the evening where we'll start this game number 6 in season 2 of the Siddhartha Bank Nepal Premier League.
Yeah, very respected cricketer in this part of the world, Vinod Bhandari, known as Vinod Dai. Everybody refers him a lot of respect. He's revered as well for his contribution to Nepal cricket. Had a very fine season last year. Josh Brown missed out with the bat, still to get those first runs, but his numbers certainly show that he's a pedigree bat. A century to his credit, a best of 140. And how they wish, the Sudur Paschim Royals, this man comes good today with the bat.
But what I really liked there was that strike rate, almost 150. If he can strike at 150 and stay there just outside of that power play, boy, they'll be putting up a huge score. And Binod Dai, as you called him, 9 matches, 235 runs. That's the concern area, the strike rate there as an opener, 110. He'll need to push it up a little bit. Early days for sure in his career, but he'll need to come good now. And the brand new Kookaburra ball is in the hands of Akash Chand. Early days in his career as well, just 4th match, 7 wickets. And high on the economy, understandable since he bowls in the first. Just moments away from start of match 6. Play is the call from the umpire.
Yeah, 4 and off inside the circle, saving one, slip in place for Akash Chand. Here we are, game number 6, match day 5. First runs on the board for the Sudhir Pashchim Royals and for Josh Brown as well. He'll feel a bit of a relief. Settings perfect, conditions. What a time to also welcome my co-commentator, friend and colleague Fazal Khalil this evening. Lovely settings, Fazal.
Thank you very much, Mikhail. Good evening to you. Good evening to everyone watching this festival of
Settings perfect, conditions. What a time to also welcome my co-commentator, friend and colleague Fazal. Settings perfect, conditions. What a time to also settings perfect, conditions. What a time to also but 17 runs as well. The 100 coming up. It's 100 for 4.
last 3 overs, but even bigger moment was that wicket of Jimmy Neesham. Dipendra Singh Airi bringing Harmeet Singh back for his last over. With the departure of Jimmy Neesham, in comes Harmeet Singh. Well, that big wicket, what a moment for the Sudar Pashchim Royals skipper. He really scripted that very well. Just shows how clever and canny a cricketing mind he is. Swept on that line. Well, Mikhail, just take a look at this. This was the first 6, slower in the air. Second one, even slower. And then now he sets him up with that absolute sizzler. So you can see the cricketing acumen and a little gymnastics as well. So he's got everything in it. Does this man on your screen. No wonder he's called the Tiger of Nepal.
I call him Dipendra Singh Fiery, not Irie. Irie Fiery. Harmeet Singh will do his job to perfection. He's a class act. He knows how to assess the situation. They look a good side, the Sudar Pashchim Royals.
Well, I was just thinking that, Mikhail, when you said it. Sudar Pashchim Royals are really looking the team to beat in the competition. They are a good all-round team together with the Kings. We saw a very formidable Kings lineup. So things really hotting up here. We'll see a little spread between the teams, the top ones and the bottom ones in the next few days. A lot of work for Pokhara Avengers now. 103 for 4. They need 12.13 runs to the over.
Yeah, you don't really blame Neesham for that shot because he had to do it. He had to go for the runs. Somebody had to get it, and it was Neesham the best option for them. Just some smart bowling here by Irie. Full delivery, and that's been rocketed into the cow corner region. That's out of here as well. He'll not miss out on juicy full tosses, Burtil. And he'll keep putting the pressure back on the fielding side.
Well, he's not going to go down without a fight, is he? He's really got veins of steel. Perhaps just slipping there with the dew for Harmeet Singh, but gleefully accepted by the skipper, Kushal Burtel. He's really played well for Nepal. And now he's turning out for the Pokhara Avengers, the skipper. The lone man there. He's like a beacon for the Avengers.
Ten runs of this over. Sumit Varma has no time to assess conditions and play himself in. It's bang bang from here on.
The last 5 overs, 74 runs have been scored for the loss of the Jimmy Neesham wicket. Just spare a thought, if Jimmy Neesham hadn't gotten out, it would have been a real humdinger of a game. A real cliffhanger to finish right now. A lot of work for these two out there in the middle for the Avengers. 83 now needed from 42. End of the over, number 13, chasing 194. 111 for 4 are the Avengers. Well, in this very special Siddharth Bank Nepal Premier League, it's a day of double headers. The Kairali Yak takes the Lumbini Lions at 11:15 a.m. match number 7, and followed by match number 8 at 3:30 p.m. the Kathmandu Gorkhas versus the Biratnagar Kings. That's the big one, coming to you live from the TU International Ground here in Kathmandu.
Swept fine, work to do for Harmeet. He'll come around it. Oh, he's pushing for the second, Sumit Varma. Good running. Yeah, just the right time to head across to Jess Croce's alongside Matt Taylor from the Pokhara Avengers. Take it away, Jess.
That's right, I'm joined here by Matt Taylor. Matt, the team Meanwhile, 1-1-3 for 4. What do you make of the performance so far?
Yeah, we obviously didn't get off to the ideal start, but I think we've pulled it back nicely now and hopefully can get it done.
How great was it watching Jimmy out there sort of hitting that all around the park?
Yeah, he really got into his work there. It was awesome to see him clear the ropes.
Irie, well, he's having a night out. And Naren South strikes. Another one bites the dust. Sumit has to walk back. Half the side back in the dugout for the Avengers in this chase, and they are falling apart.
They certainly are falling apart now. The required rate is 12.15. No real option for him, but that man there, Dipendra Singh Irie, despair on his face, but he'll have to make that walk back to the pavilion. Sumit Verma caught Dipendra Singh, bowled Naren for 6. The Avengers now tottering at 113 for 5.
Abhishek Tiwari walks out. Bhurtel at the other end. They're asking rate over 12. Wickets falling in a heap. Avengers going down in this battle. Lovely bowling. Yeah, just the right time to head across. Head back rather to Jess.
And we're back. Matt, you were just discussing how it was watching Jimmy out there hitting it around the park.
Yeah, it's great to watch him get into his work, clear the ropes a few times. It would have been nice if he could go on a bit longer, but hopefully we could still get it done.
Chasing a huge score of 194, it's never easy chasing a big score like that, but what's the mentality required for that?
Yeah, you still just got to be positive. I think, you know, obviously we didn't get off to the best start, but then we made some good inroads into the score, and then you need a few things to go your way as well.
Of course. So now look, there's plenty of energy going on here tonight. Does this motivate the team in any way?
Yeah, definitely. It's absolutely electric. Like I said the other day, the atmosphere here has been brilliant for every game, so it's great to see.
And what's required from the team for the rest of the comp to sort of take it closer and closer towards that trophy?
Yeah, just to build on what we've done so far, get a couple of wins on the board, and hopefully, you know, we'll put ourselves in a good position.
Excellent. Well, all the best for you.
Cheers.
Thank you very much. Back to comps.
2 for 48 in his last game in the 4 overs. Missed out tonight, the left-arm medium pacer Matt Taylor. Yeah, not a great scene at the moment for the Pokhara Avengers. Good over here by Naren South. He's rocked back on this one, and he's taken full toll on this as well. Bhurtel's finding the big hits with consummate ease this evening. 120 for 5. But for that brief partnership of 70-odd runs between Bhurtel and Nisham, Avengers have just been playing catch-up in this chase. They still need 74 from 36. Bhurtel can do it. If it's his night, nobody can stop him. But you have Irie at the other end. What a contest here. Red versus yellow, who will prevail?
12.33 runs to the over. Singles. Need to take the single. Oh, what a throw that. Dipendra Singh Irie has a rocket arm. Just take a look at this. I mean, he's like the last and lone soldier for the Avengers, the skipper. You can't do everything on your own, Bhurtel. You need support, which you're not getting from the Avengers now. 74 of 34. He got runs in the first game as well, and that went in a lost cause. And now once again, he's one short of a 50. Very pensive dugout, and understandably so. But they've got themselves to blame. On a good pitch, you win the toss, you always look to bat first and put runs on the board. If you can put runs, you have a good batting lineup. If you can put 200 runs on the board, you're going to put the strongest batting lineup under pressure, no matter whether there's due or no due. Once you're chasing 195, you're always under pressure, going at almost 10s and over, right from the outset to the very end. And you lose a couple of wickets, the run rate goes into the 14s and the 15s, and then you're completely, knocked out of the game.
Yeah, they have a problem, the Avengers. On 2 occasions now they're chasing huge totals, which means their bowling is lacking some power and teeth. He can be a skiddy customer, Avinash Bora, in these conditions. He's been retained by the Sudur Paschim Royals. He's done a lot of bowling for Nepal as well. Four dots. That's what's happening. That's why the talk between Burtel and Abhishek. Burtel would have told, don't lose your composure. Get me on strike. Lovely bowling. Just a hint of movement, keeping it away from the arc. This is very fine dead bowling.
Very ordinary batting as well. Can't have 4 dot balls when the run rate is 14.32 runs to the over and your skipper is stranded at the other end.
Finally, he gets a single only to keep strike for the next over. I'm not too sure if the single was on. You need Burtel on strike. Just the 1 run off for Abhinash's over. It's been a very fine bowling effort. We are into the final 5, 121 for 5.
The game very much in Sudur Pashim's court right now, but whilst Kushal Burtel is still there, we do have a game in our hands. He's going to need some support. The required run rate is escalating, almost out of control. Best part of 15 runs required per over. And as we saw so often through season 1, Kuggelein might have been wicketless early, but he'll come back and take wickets at the death. And this young man simply has to get Burtel on strike. The last thing that Bukhara Avengers can afford are dot balls, as I wish a warm good evening to HT Ackerman. The men in yellow still in control here.
Well, they are now. While Kushal Burtel and Jimmy Neesham were at the wicket, there was always that hope, but since then it's been the men in yellow. Yeah, Abhishek needs to really get he needs to work out what's required here, and what's required is the captain needs to get on strike. The previous over he swung at 4, and then the last delivery of the over he got a single, and that's the last thing you want. Now he's managed to get Burtel on strike, but the pressure is on the captain. Yes, he's 1 short of a half century, but he needs boundaries.
Just 1 more needed to get to that landmark of 50. He's played really nicely. The acceleration has been superb. It would be back-to-back 50s, remember. Made 59 against Baratnagar and Pokhara's opener. And he'll get there in some style. Glorious way to continue an excellent knock. It's got better as it's gone on. Remember, at one stage, 11 off 19. Since then, he has just shifted gears with consummate ease. And he gets to the landmark 50, back-to-back 50s off just 31 balls.
Good players just know where the boundaries are, don't they? Over extra cover. If you hit it badly, you get 2. If you hit it well, you get 4. Same can be said for mid-wicket.
Got him! And that could be that. He's crestfallen on the turf. Kushal Bertel, he knows the importance of his wicket to his team. He's played ever so nicely, but now he's got to go.
Fine leg was up inside the 30-yard circle, and Bertel thought he could get it up and over. But so often we see these little scoop shots lead to the dismissal of a player when well set. But a lovely innings again. He looks in fine form in this year's edition of NPL. Bertel goes for 53. It's 126 for 6.
Well, is that? Is it all over? Red Rover for the men in red. Dan Douthwaite will come to the crease, capable, striking in his career at about 140. A lot of those games for Glamorgan, one of the 18 English counties. The only one, of course, in Wales. I think you nailed it in what you said there, HT. He's played wonderfully well, but for the second time in 2 games, it's probably going to be a 50 in vain.
Yeah, more often than not, you just need someone else.
Yet another play and a miss. Abhishek just not getting up to the pace. 3 off 12. Avengers 127 for 6. I think this graphic actually describes this match really well. They've really been behind from start to finish. Having said that, the 4th wicket partnership, whilst Neesham was on song and Bertel started to kick into gear, they almost brought it up to parity for the first and only time in the entirety of this match, in and around the 12th over. And then a moment of magic from Dipendra Singh Airi changed the game. That one's swung away, very well bowled. Love the fact that we've seen so much of Nepal's corporate community and sponsors get involved in this season, and there's one of them, the Red Bull fan zone, bringing that Babal energy. Don't forget to try the new generation Red Bull product, recently launched here in Nepal, sitting in our fridge behind us in the commentary box. I haven't had one yet, actually. Me and you prefer a different drink. As Douthwaite goes bang, that's big. Broad shoulders and straight in to the Avengers branding next to the dugouts.
Wow. This is absolutely nailed. That's just the length, delivery, and it's a flat back over mid-on for 6. You can only do that if you're a strong man.
Inside edge. Just want to show you one more thing here from this Kushal Bertel dismissal. Don't watch the wicket, watch Jimmy Neesham in the background. You'll see him just now. It says it all. Does he get enough of it? I don't think so. Scott Kugelheim takes the simplest of catches, and it ends an innings that young Abhishek Tiwari is going to want to forget. 3 of 13.
This innings now starts to drift away. Abhishek goes for 3. It's 134 for 7.
What a fantastic festival atmosphere as Bipin Khatri comes to the crease. He is capable down the order, can slog a few, but it's surely going to be too many required unless Douthwaite can unleash those broad shoulders further. 60 to win off 20. Again, Bahara beats the outside edge. This will fill him full of confidence. Do you see enough in his death bowling skills for Stuart Law to have him in the picture for February? Going to be tough to force his way back in.
I just think he lacks pace.
He actually, I agree with you. He's only in and around 120 kilometres an hour, but he's skillful. And he was very effective last year in the T20 World Cup, albeit on some difficult surfaces, particularly in St Vincent. 17 bowled, 134 for 7. Just for a moment at 95 for 3, with Neesham ticking, Bertel having been given a life. The drop catch that Josh Brown is going to want to forget. He just felt as though the Avengers might hunt this down. But then those 3 wickets in the last 5 overs, well, they've twisted the game. This is a big hit. I think he's got more than enough. Douthwaite might have some fun here at the death. A beautiful sight over his favoured long-on region again.
I don't think he's middled it either. I think he's muscled this over long on for 6. Now, the problem when you're chasing these totals, Lenny, is that even though you have a good period, when you're chasing a total in excess of 180, 190, and you're getting up to 200, you can't have a dead period. You've got to just keep going. And it's often during that period where you're trying to sustain that high run rate where you end up losing wickets. And that's what the Royals would have kept on saying during the Bertel partnership with Jimmy Neesham, is that they can't just keep, well, give us an opportunity.
Nicely pulled, Irie in the important position, makes it look easy. And Khatri says, not to him. I know my fielders and I'm not running 2 to the Tiger. Khatri has to read the room here, doesn't he? Got to get Douthwaite on strike.
Douthwaite would have been desperate to get back on strike, but Khatri's correct. It's just 1.
Going to be given a as a wide down the leg side. Now it is his trademark celebration. We saw it just twice in the T20 World Cup qualifier there in Oman, both for direct hit runouts. This was for the delivery to bowl Jimmy Neesham. Have a look at this. Put it up in lights. I don't think Neesham was happy. Oh, I don't know about you, HD. That's got to be the best somersault I've ever seen.
Well, I thought Simone Biles was a little bit better, to be brutally honest, with the gold medal in the Olympics.
How many golds did she win? Yeah, I forgot about her. Apologies, Simone.
I know when Dipendra Singh is on screen, you get a little bit carried away. I think they call it a bromance, but it's very one way, because I'm not sure he knows that you have these feelings about him.
Well, luckily his mother reciprocates on Dipendra's behalf. Yeah, I met Mrs. Irie during the first game, and I don't think there's a prouder mother in this country, and you can understand why. Yeah, he's a special cricketer. He really is setting new benchmarks, not just for cricketer in Nepal, but for the associate game, and that's why I certainly am a big fan. We're just talking about those sponsors, how important they've been to the growth of this tournament, and everyone involved done such a great job. Here is the one that we ride in each day, the Womodo and Jaku, which is Nepal's fastest growing EV brand, providing the best in segment range, ground clearance and spare tyre with top safety features. Don't need that spare tyre because it's such a nice ride.
And a battery that lasts in excess of 6 days, because those indicators are still going.
The wide down the leg side. Kuggeleijn, for me, I know he came back well the other day. Compared to his season 1 performance, is not quite at his best yet this year.
Well, he's got time, because if he keeps having to defend totals like this, he'll be okay. You know, he took wickets at the front, he took wickets at the back for them, but he does have a little bit of time to find his rhythm. It's a long tournament.
Massive. Oh, this is a monster. I don't think we've seen bigger. Show me 3 figures at the bottom of your screen. Not in terms of tournament sixes or nearly there. This is 90 meters plus, surely.
What about the sound this makes? In the slot, yes please. Get in the hole. That's impossible. 78 meters.
No, I'm sorry, but no. That's got to be 90 plus. What's the straight boundary again, HD? 66, 63. Oh, come on, that's got to have gone. Massive. Absolutely massive. Big hit. The 150 comes up. Peterson wants some of them to be 12, doesn't he? Not too sure about that shout from KP, but that was a monster, I promise you that much. And that should be given as a wide. Good umpiring. Douthwaite nods the head. What do you do here with 44 to win, now 43 to win off 13? Do you look for the single and the strike, or do you look for another massive hit out the ground?
Well, I think now if it's in the area, he's got to try and hit it out the ground. I don't think you can start saving deliveries. You've got to rely on Khatri to get you back on strike the next over. But everyone for you will be on the edge of the ring. So as long as you make contact, you can get off strike. But boundaries are required, lots of them.
Oh, he ends up doing neither. Dot ball, he wants the wide, not going to get it. Good over for the Avengers, but they still need 43 more. 151 for 7. Really, really enjoyable scenes. We did see after the quick flurry of wickets fell, a few fans actually saying, okay, now's my time to go and get an early bus. Remember, so many have travelled from outside the valley to come and enjoy the action. But this is what we've got to look forward to on Dhaka Topi Day. Everyone's going to be looking resplendent on the first Super Saturday, as the Karnali Yaks will come back into action, taking on the highly impressive Lumbini Lions, who are looking to go from the very bottom of the table all the way up to the top. That'll be the morning game, and then the floodlights will kick in with the Kathmandu Gorkhas, the hometown side, taking on the Biratnagar Kings. A reminder, slightly different times on Saturdays, 11:15 and 3:30 p.m. Here's Bahara. And Khatri does his job. Now, Douthwaite, he has complete licence here. He's got to probably hit, what, 5 or 6 sixes to have any chance out of these last 11 balls.
I don't think he's looking for a quick single, that's for sure. So Abhinash, it's key here is that he doesn't bowl at the stumps. If you bowl at the stumps, you're bowling into the hitting zone of Douthwaite. He needs to keep it out of that area, bowl at the wide line. Even if he bowls the odd wide, that's fine. But bowl at that wide line, make him reach for you.
Good enough. He's thinking exactly like you are. The singles turned down. Recognition from Khatri that the last hope of the Avengers lays with the Welshman.
Now what Douthwaite will probably do is he'll crowd his stumps, but just bearing in mind that if he moves across, the wide line moves with him. It doesn't just stay in a stationary position, so he can still bowl wide of that off stump and hope that Douthwaite goes over extra.
Nails the Yorker. This is the skills that Bahara brings. Yes, it is not at an express pace or anything close to it, between 115 and 120 kilometres an hour. But the remarkable accuracy that he brings is why he was one of Monty Desai's favourites at the death in this format. Yet to curry favour under Stuart Law. Big MPL, you never know. He could still force his way into India and Sri Lanka next year. T20 World Cup journey. Great stuff from Bahara. Nails it again. 3 in a row. Outstanding bowling.
Douthwaite needs to hang about in the crease, particularly when the ball's being bowled at 119, 120 kilometres an hour. He can come and stand 2 feet outside the crease and say, well, if you want to try and nail the Yorker, all the best, but if you miss, might be a full toss. But if you just keep standing that ground, he's lined up, he's got his radar.
Off the toe of the bat, but such is the power of Douthwaite, that'll run all the way for 4. 4s aren't enough now for the Avengers. He's had a fantastic evening, particularly compared to some of his teammates. Daniel Douthwaite, exceptional with the ball, and these are handy, impressive late runs.
But again, I know it's gone for 4, but it's very well bowled. Because he's bowled it wide of off stump, it hits the toe end of the bat, and so Douthwaite can't hit it out the ground. Been a very impressive over this, the 19th, arguably the most important of the innings.
But this time it's into the slot and it is out the ground. Technically this game is still alive, but you can see the frustration as the 100th 6 of the tournament belongs to Daniel Douthwaite. 1 over remains, 162 for 7. This game is still alive, only thanks to Daniel Douthwaite, but it's a frustrated-looking cut to the Pakara Avengers bench. Now, they're just working things out here. It's 32 to win off 6. With due respect to Bipin Khatri, the only way this is happening, Khatri's got to get a single off the first ball, and Douthwaite's got to hit 5 6s, and we're off to the super over.
Words all around here for Dummy, who's been very impressive in the competition so far. He had a good outing the other day, 2 for. He doesn't have a wicket here, but he's been okay. The Avengers need to look at their batting lineup as well. You've got to be flexible, and when you're chasing 15s and 16s to the over, surely Douthwaite goes up ahead of Abhishek. Surely he goes ahead of Sumit. Maybe if you're chasing 140, different story.
A reminder, of course, Sumit Verma only signed in the last 48 hours, qualified for Uganda on residency. Came in, has been very impressive start to his international career, one of 2 Ugandans here who played out in the Challenge League. And because there's no Raymond Reefer here, I don't think he's going to come in the end. Jason Roy, they're still waiting for. Well, 4 in theory might be better than a single, but I'm not sure it is actually. Got to get Douthwaite on strike here. The top edge races to the rope.
Only 3 wides have been bowled. You don't want to bowl any of those. They managed to scurry through for a single for wide, because Douthwaite's on his bike. He's backing up and running.
That might make it game on. 2 wides. What did that give us? 26 off 5. Douthwaite on strike. 4 6s and a 2. What do you get? Yeah, a wide and run through to the keeper. That's what you need here for the Avengers. Instead it goes straight into the sky. Who's going to get there? Might fall into no man's land. Bandari doesn't get underneath it. It ends up as a single. Well, the problem is now, that's why I said that 4 was no good, because the equation is more than 6 runs per delivery. They're going to need some help from the bowler. Young Dami, keep your foot behind the line.
I'm not sure what it is, but there's been a number of catches that have gone into the night sky over the course of the first 5 or 6 days, and it seems as though that the fielders running towards the boundary are the ones that are more intent to take the catch, and those that are coming off the boundary are reluctant.
Yeah, I think that particular one was just kind of flukily hit into absolute no man's land. The crowds are now recognising that they're almost there, the Royals. 1 bounce, and that's going to be that. Listen to the cheers around the banks, around these new stands. The Royals, well, they haven't had it all their own way across the 2 games, but ultimately they're going to have 2 very comfortable victories.
And the Avengers will look at things and say, you know what, we can bat. We've got some power hitters. We've got some very skillful players, particularly our captain. But we cannot keep chasing these types of totals. We've got work to do with our bowling.
They need a bit more from young Dinesh Karel up at the top as well. We were impressed with him last season. 2 low scores thus far. Just wonder, does Bertel maybe say, do I get myself up there? Kieran Thaguna, local cricketer who many think a huge amount of, hasn't shined yet. That one will be a wide, but it will be too little too late. 26 required off 3 balls. And for me, really this was the turning point, wasn't it? Tapendra Singh Airi. I did do Simone Biles a disservice with her 11 Olympic and 30 World Championship medals. Maybe not the best somersault I've ever seen, but very much cut from the same cloth. Not a dissimilar height actually either as well. Oh, this goes a long way, and it's just going to keep going. He's a powerful man, isn't he, Daniel Douthwaite? And another one goes down in the crowd.
Well, these are all important runs as well, because we think of that net run rate come the end of the competition. Last year, that 4th position was decided on the net run rate. Oh, that's gone as high as it's gone far.
Yeah, 68 metres distance, probably almost 68 metres in arc as well. Shade of a golf follow through. He was another one of the, I think there was 2 4-balls up at the Gakarna Resorts. He was with his team mate Jimmy Neesham. Saw a few of the clips online. He didn't get everyone out of the middle, I promise you that. And poor old Mark Watt managed to duff one into the little river in front of him. 2 balls left. Oh, now is that a no ball is the question. If not, Douthwaite's going to be caught in the deep. He's standing there. He wants the no ball. Hemantami wants a 3rd NPL wicket to go with the 2 he took the other night. The umpires are saying out, and yet again we're seeing another player not listen to the decision and almost force it to go upstairs.
This is where you also need a strong match referee who basically calls captains in, or he calls some players in and just says, look guys, this is in danger of getting out of hand. Let's just make sure that we adhere to the not only the rules and regulations, that's okay, but also to the spirit of the game.
You couldn't agree more. And also, let's empower our umpires that if they want to use the technology, allow the umpires to make it their decision. We don't have DRS here in the Nepal Premier League, but we can check things like the 4s and 6s, clean catches, and indeed these waist high no ball calls. I think this is going to be fine. I think this is dipping beneath waist high. And let's just see what's going to happen. Given us out, yeah, correct decision. Daithwaite happy to trudge off, and Dami and let's just see what's going to happen. Given us out, yeah, correct decision. Daithwaite happy to trudge off, and Dami. And a game-changing moment. He might have been hit for 2 6s into the crowd by Jimmy Neesham, but he struck back. It was a very clever piece of off-spin bowling. And as we saw throughout the league stages in Season 1, yet again, it's the Sudar Pashim Royals flying high on top of the table.